First I got a call, and then she kind of tipped me on some scripts that she had, and knowing the kind of person that she is, I was already eager to kind of want to touch the script. So she sent it to me, and it was not anything short of my expectations. It actually was an intriguing story, and I was so glad that I was going to be a part of it. What ZEE is a story that is like out of this world, to be honest. I've read quite a few scripts, and that one stood out, basically. Mr. and Mrs. ASHU were two young lovers who got married, lived a happy life, but for the absence of a child. And it is due to the absence of the child that tension and pressure begins to press on their marriage, and they had to find a solution to it. Mr. ASHU, being the loving man that he was ready to go to whatever length, and he did go to some length to be able to make sure his wife has a smile on her face. Everything kind of falls back on track when that baby comes into their home. We see the Mr. and Mrs. ASHU that we knew from the very beginning of their lives, you know, the joy, the happiness, the beaming glory that was all around the house with the baby, the presence of the child. Their love was, let's just say, it was rejuvenated. The kind of love that she showers on a child that she did not bear herself. It takes a woman with an extra heart to be able to do that. Shasha. Charlotte she's an amazing young woman. A strong woman. Very strong. She's that kind of person that you would love to work with. Working with her was very easy. Playful, joyful, always listening, and sometimes always talking, especially when she's hungry. But it was fun. It was fun. I have had to work with Charlotte before on some other projects, so it was just like a reunion, and it was simply beautiful. And I think she carried the character page with every iota of passion that she has in her, which is what made the character page quite amazing. I had one scene with her which is, to me, the peak of what ZEE. It is where everything comes together for one person and crumbles for the other person. It is, for the first time I get to meet Paige, I see a broken woman. I see a woman who has given up on everything, who's almost giving up on everything, who is not herself anymore, who is just a reflection, a blank reflection, basically. The power, the pain in her eyes was indescribable, and you cannot help but break down at the sight of such a face. And it kind of just brings, let me say, it brings Mrs. ASHU back to reality. So it is the constant reminder of Paige's voice in my head. I forgive you, I forgive you. It was too much for me to bear. It was too much, basically. I also had just one encounter with Kate. I saw a woman who would do anything to help her friend out, to support her friend. The strength with which she comes at me, the strength at which you come towards somebody that you've never known simply because that person hurt your friend. It kind of tells a lot about the kind of person that you are. So my misunderstanding, I put it in quotes because it was an illusionary misunderstanding. Illusionary because it happened on social media. I had never met Mbango prior to the production of What ZEE, but somehow we got our horns interlocked in some social media brouhaha, we call it that way. But the reality of she and I getting together was something totally different. It was a whole new experience. Mbango is a sweet person. She easy to talk to, easy to relate with. Basically, she's just sweet. She's basically just sweet. And it's not I think the misunderstanding was actually fueled by people who did not understand. I didn't shoot any rocks at her, neither did she, or maybe she got fired up by people to actually shoot rocks, which were a counter rock to what was not even meant for her. But that was actually just an illusion. The real thing is she and I were cool, and working together was simple. Abby is a very strong character. She comes through with a lot of strength, but also a very passionate person, especially in front of her sister. She basically just melts. She carried the role beautifully. Now, normal American girl, so she just brought the whole American flair into the movie. I think she wore that role perfectly. The delectable Norbert Yorn. I've always looked forward to working with Nollywood veterans. I've had the luck to work with people like Chiwetalo Agu. I've worked with Peter Doche, and having to work with Norbert Young, that was like the apex. And having him come to my country to be able to work with him, it was such an experience. I learned so much from him. He's easy to talk to, and he teaches you naturally what should be done. And when you see him, he's such an effortless actor. On set, the way he delivers his lines, he's just so natural. It's hard to make a difference between the Norbert and the Norbert the character. So it was quite an honor to get to work with him, to get to associate with him, you know. Itambi is a strong woman. Very, very, very strong woman. Sometimes I actually think she's stern, but below all of that sternness, beyond it, under all of that, there is a sweet person. And I saw that from the way she relates with you on set when you have a problem, when you have difficulties, and the patience. She has incredible patience. I can never have the kind of patience she has. Like, even when you get on her last nerves and you feel she's just gonna blow out, that's the time for her to just leave the place and just go sit somewhere quietly for 2 minutes, and then she comes back and acts like nothing has happened. You break a light bulb, she loses it, she disappears. 5 minutes after, she comes and she's laughing and cheering up everybody when you were the one trying to cheer her before. That's the kind of person that Itambi Delphine is, and it's the first time I actually got to work with her, and I think I want to do it again, over and over. Renee's Heart can take 5 hours to set a camera up, but it is worth the wait at every time because he is a perfectionist. It could take us a day to do one scene. Renee wouldn't mind, as long as it comes out perfect. And if you get the luck to watch the footages after they're shot, you want the next scene to take 2 days. If he wants it, you give it to him. It was the first time I was working with him as well, and I think he is an amazing DOP. He knows what he's going at. He works with the director so effortlessly, and both of them get what they want. They are both perfectionists. So in fact, Danny is the lover boy who would drive kilometers just to come and see his girlfriend, in quotes, who actually is somebody's wife. But it is the fact that he's able to hold Paige's hand throughout the difficulty that Paige was going through, helping Paige find herself. He is actually the one that brings Paige out of the facet, let me put it that way, the blank facet in which she is. By him going an extra mile to hurt Paige, let me put it, hurt Paige in quotes, by sticking her head into water, that's actually what brings Paige back alive. That also goes to show the kind of person that Danny is. He will do everything just to be able to have Paige come back to herself, because to him, I think he kind of knows that having Paige back to herself and having the natural Paige back is actually also a chance for them to probably rekindle first of all, as an actor, that is one actor I respect a lot. He takes his art seriously, but he's a very unserious person. But when you call the shots, Libota is into character immediately. And while he's into character, he knows how to take you out of yours. One time we were on set, and the apex of the whole movie, and I'm in tears and sweaty, and everybody is so deep into character, and the director says freeze. We all freeze, waiting for her to say action. And Libota just somewhere sitting on a couch just say, before actor go be us, all water for his skin don't finish. Like, who doesn't laugh out to that? Generally, the whole set was made of amazing cast, amazing crew, and I had the chance to be able to be part of it from the beginning to the very end, as I also doubled as a crew member. I was the makeup artist. Yeah, the director had she being the person who wrote the story, the script, and directing the movie, she had a vision of what she wanted the characters to look like. So it was easy to just work with her. She kind of explained what she was looking forward to having, and we decided that it was going to be something that is just the daily natural kind of makeup that everybody was supposed to wear. But for a few characters like Mrs. ASHU, who was the extra being in the movie, we also had Abby, who was coming from America, who also had to be extra just in slight details. We also had Mabel. Mabel's character was also the wolf in sheepskin kind of character. So the makeup was simple, yet it had a particular effect, which was the wing on the eye that everybody didn't get to have. That wing on the eye tells a lot. It's a cat. You can look at a cat. Sometimes it's that subtle kind of animal that has a wild side sometimes because of one thing or the other. So we had to work to be able to make sure that we bring out these characters simply, naturally as possible, but their makeup had to tell of the moments in their lives as far as the movie was concerned. And it was easy because the director was directing the looks. What ZEE, look forward to it. It's one of those, it's one movie that will keep you at the edge of your seat. At the same time, you'll be sipping on Coke and rum, basically. It's an intriguing story. It is a story that everybody in the society will be able to relate to. People who unfortunately get into misfortunes, others who put people into misfortunes, those who take advantage of other people's misfortunes, like Paige's character, and other people who just want to be there to help, like Danny and Jack.